Hello. Welcome back to Lofo's Lounge. Ooh, Tory Lanez with the vibes coming in. Um, I want to thank you all for watching episode ones. For the ones that did, there was a lot of ones in that sentence. But I'm going to cut the music off real quick. Tory's a little loud. But welcome to episode 2. This episode is going to be called Over the Hump. You're probably wondering, what the heck do I mean by that? It is only Tuesday. It is July 4th. It's Independence Day. It's not even hump day yet. No, what I mean is getting over the hump of that ex that is still on your heart, that is still on your mind. We're going to be getting into things that I think help. We're going to be talking about a little personal stories, having a little fun with it, maybe getting a little serious. But before I do get into it, I want to let everybody know that I am not any type of professional. I am not a doctor. I'm not a mental health therapist, any therapist of any sort. This is just advice from somebody who's been through something that I'm going to be talking about. And with that being said, I was in a relationship for 5 years, 5 long years. I don't know if you guys have been in a relationship that long, but you kind of grab an attachment once you get into those long, extended relationships. And I'm not saying that if you've not been into that long of a relationship that you can't grab that attachment, because I've seen people in months, as little as a month, grow like super attached to that person to where when they do break up quickly, they are heartbroken, they are depressed, they are in a state to where they can't cope with anything. And it's really hard. If you're a person with like super duper feelings and you need that person to be in a relationship with, if you're that person that jumps from relationship to relationship, like, it is hard to get over somebody. And I see a lot of society that just does jump to another relationship to try to fill that void, which doesn't help. It's not a healthy thing, in my opinion. Again, that's a personal opinion. If you do find success into jumping into another relationship, kudos to you. But let's get into it. So like I said, I was in a relationship for 5 years, and it was a very healthy relationship. I have no negative input about my ex. I have no bad things to say about the relationship as a whole. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. It actually kind of put me into the path of the person that I am today. So a lot of really positive things. And when I say that, people usually follow the question with, "So why did you guys break up?" Which I will get into that. We broke up because we had different paths that we wanted to follow. Mostly me. I was somebody who likes to travel. I'm somebody who likes to move. I've lived in several different states now. Um, and she was not that ambitious in that aspect in her life. And we didn't match or see eye to eye in that aspect, which is not an issue at all. But to grow into the relationship and to get to the point where both of us want, that was something that I kind of needed. So we ended up separating just for that simple fact. And after 5 years, you kind of are a part of that person's life. Like your everyday ins and outs. When you wake up in the morning, it's like, yo, what are we doing today? Not what am I doing today? It's, yo, what are your plans? What is going on with you? Because I need to know, because you're my partner, you're my person, you're my everything. It's like that is your other half. And I know people joke about that. They're like, oh, that's my better half. That's my. It's really your half, because you get to doing everything every single day with that person, communicating, plans, dinner plans. And it's like, yo, if they're not here, am I eating today? Which is kind of a crazy thing to say, but those of you that have been in a relationship kind of understand where I'm going with that. But after we broke up, I we broke up twice, so I'll be honest with that. The first time I was a little poop head. I won't curse, but I was a poop head. Um, I was kind of just being ignorant, to say the absolute least. And I'll leave it at that. I'll save that topic for another day. But I jumped ship and I moved to Florida. And you're going to see a common trend here. That's the funny thing. So I jumped ship and moved to Florida. And when I moved to Florida, I was there for a couple months. I actually went to therapy. I learned a little bit about myself, but we still kept communication. And I ended up coming back and we got back together. Fast forward to last year, around July, August. It's been about a year. Um, we broke up for the final time. And about a month and a half later, surprise, surprise, I moved to New York, and which is I'm here currently. Um, so I moved to New York, kind of fleeing the scene again to get away. In my opinion, moving away creates that distance to where you're not like still in the same like town, to where you're not forced to communicate, because where the area was a small town, so I felt like it was almost impossible for us to not end up running into each other, to not communicate, those type of things. And to get away from that, I felt like it kind of saved our friendship, I guess you want to call it. We maintained a positive relationship after the fact that we broke up. And when you move on from somebody, it is very hard to separate initially. You still have every single thought, you still have the pictures, you still have the messages, and you go through that. And it's like you open up a message, you have those songs. Like as soon as the song comes on, you're like, wow, um, that is the song that we listened to, that we were in the kitchen and we were making pancakes. And it's like, how the heck do I have all these memories that I'm supposed to just forget or just reside or, not bring to the front of my membrane? And it's super hard. So after a little while, I started writing. And I feel like writing is very good for people that are going through breakups, because you take an emotion that's stuck inside of you and you can like literally release it onto paper. For me, I have bad handwriting, so I release it onto my notes in my phone. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. It is something that I wrote that kind of deals with the moving on and the next step to kind of forgetting that relationship and getting past that first initial like heartbreak. So I called it No Contact, which is kind of just a basis for what it is. But this is the poem that I wrote that kind of dives into a personal moving on. So it starts out: I've forgotten the exact date of your birthday. Not because I've forgotten you, but it's a sign that I've slowly started to move on. I heard a song on the radio that we used to smile and laugh to, and I let it play out. A small smile came across my face as I almost wished you were there to listen to it too. I often wonder where I'd be at in this world if I had never met you, but I don't think I'll ever figure out that version of me. If you called this second, I'd surely pick up the phone, but I don't wait on that call anymore. I can never associate with your name because I never let anything in my life replace the meaning of it. I can still picture your laugh, your touch, and occasionally you pop into my dreams. I've forgotten what your voice sounds like, but I'll never forget the way that you said you love me. It doesn't matter that you were never perfect, because in every inch of my brain, you were perfect to me. For a while I longed to reach out, a text left unsent, a letter written that stays by my bed. I'm always rooting for you, except now I'm on the stands and not by your side. I keep that shirt that you said looked amazing on me, even though it doesn't fit anymore. I hear you in the phrases I speak and the songs I play. I hope one day I can finally fill this void, but for now, I'm happy with single me and being me completely. So, yeah, that's a little uh, diving deep into my feelings. So, I'm going to take a little water break to get over that. All right, we're over it. But no, so there's a lot of emotions into that. There's a lot of things that I wrote that was probably a few months ago, so a little bit fresher. Um, and obviously, I am past some of those feelings to where it's like you still long to reach out, you still do certain things. But like I said, writing is, in my opinion, one of the best things that you can get into a habit of too if you've gone through a breakup. It's going to literally take that thing that's inside of your heart, that thing that's inside of your brain, and just throw it away onto a piece of paper to where you don't have to forget it, but it's not holding you up. It's not letting you feel those feelings, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, that is a quick episode of my opinions on getting over an ex. And you got to think of it like a hump day. And it sounds so like cliche. It's like, yo, that first couple days was super amazing. Then the breakup happens on that Wednesday. And then the rest of the week is kind of like, eh. But then the week starts over and it's a full circle. No matter what, there's still going to be 7 days. It's basically like a hula hoop. It's going to keep spinning. It's going to keep coming back around. So if you hold on to it, eventually it's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier. And you're not going to be able to like spin that hula hoop around. You're going to get tired. You're going to get worn out. And most of it's really mental. You keep that mental pressure on your brain, on your heart, and it's slowly going to kill you. And that sounds exaggerated because you think of like, how the heck is this feeling gonna kill me? But there is a lot of studies nowadays that where if your mental is not like upkept, if it's not in a happier tone, then you literally are killing yourself with all that pressure that you're building up, all that pain that you're feeling daily. It is rough. And from somebody who was at those low points in life to where it wasn't just a relationship, it was a family issue, it was many different things that were going on. You can literally feel the stress build up. I had it like with weight gain, I had it with wanting to drink more, just do all these unhealthy things to try to cope. And there's a lot of healthy ways to cope with things. Um, Relationships is the main topic, but there's a lot of things that people go through to where they start dealing with unhealthy ways to deal with it. Like I said, there's eating, there's drinking, there's smoking, there's drugs, there's all these things that kind of come to mind first. And I'm sure there's a lot more to that. But get to writing, go to the gym, talk to somebody, a therapist, from somebody who's actually been to a therapist. And I had that mentality of, I will never go to therapy. Why do I need this random stranger to talk to me? Do it. It will help you so much. And granted, if it's too expensive, I understand. But there's certain ways that you can get it paid for. There's certain professionals that will do it for free sometimes, depending on your area, depending on the organization. But I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I want to keep my episodes at about 15 minutes. I might make a part two of this. If you guys would like a part two of this, leave a comment. Um, I'll probably post a little bit of clips on my TikTok. So if you're on my TikTok as well, comment on the video. Let me know what you guys want to hear. Let me know what you think about the episode. And again, I appreciate you guys for joining Lofo's Lounge. I love you all. I hope you all have the best day. Happy Independence Day. Happy July 4th, whatever you want to call it. Peace out, Girl Scouts.